Okay, good. I'd like to call the meeting to order. It is 6:43 p.m. on October 19th. And our first agenda item is the introduction of our new member. And David Helmer has joined us on the Cochrane Planning Commission. And I can speak to what I've learned about David during his application process to be on the CPC. He is extremely experienced in municipal board attendance, and maybe Mike can jump in here and talk a little more detail about that.
Yeah, David Helmer, glad to be here. This is my first time at CPC. My background is when I was with the town of, in the town of Lacombe, I was the chair of the SDAB there for a number of years. And then when I moved down here, first meeting, I became the chair of the SDAB down here as well. So I served 6 years here and probably about 8 years there. A lot of experience with the planning process and decision making around that. My day job is I do regulatory controls, like create regulatory systems for the oil and gas sector, pipelines and things like that, just to make sure that they're operating safe and all that. And my education way back when was as an environmental engineer. So graduated a whole bunch of years ago as an environmental engineer, and been doing mainly industrial engineering since. So happy to be here. I think all my experience and would hopefully contribute to this, and looking forward to some good contribution here.
Thanks, David. We're really glad to have you, and appreciate you taking the time out to join our team here.
Heather, you're muted.
Sorry, then I guess you missed the part where I said thank you for joining us, David.
Thanks.
We appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to be a part of our process.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. So next item on the agenda is the election of the chair and vice chair. Anybody have any nominations?
I guess I would name Heather Moore as chair.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Adam. I will say this. I am happy to make a commitment to take on that role if that's what you guys want. However, I have not held that position before, and we do have a committee that is rather young. So I would not be offended, and I would probably put forth a motion to also nominate David, because he has had the experience, and I think that we as a group could learn a lot from that experience.
What does David say?
Well, I appreciate the nomination, but I was thinking of Heather myself. So before I think I could be effective, I think I'd want to learn more of the processes amongst the for the CPC and things like that. So I think it'd be better to have some continuity there from the existing team members. Not that I am opposed to it. It's just that I think it'd probably be a more of an effective team if there's a bit more continuity from from the previous members that were sitting on the CPC.
So Heather, are you in by acclamation then?
You're on mute again.
Sorry, I should just leave it off mute. Yes, I guess that's the way that works, Lisa.
We'll go with the motion that George put on the table to nominate Heather as the chair, if you wanted to vote on that.
All in favor? All
Favor.
opposed?
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations, you'll be
Yay.
awesome.
Yay. New experience. So now we need to vote on a vice chair. And I would say that I would like to nominate George to be the vice chair.
I would second that as well.
Okay. So then
I'm not sure what the duties are of the vice chair, but I thought that David wanting a bit more experience, he could have been the vice chair as well. But I think for continuity's sake, I would like to be the vice chair.
Okay. So there's a motion on the floor that George be voted in as vice chair. All in favor?
I
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Don't worry, George, we'll figure this out together.
I'm counting on you.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the agenda itself. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
No.
Would anybody like to add? Okay. Then motion to adopt the minutes agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Thanks. All in favor? Motion carried. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the council update. So Ms. Councillor Flowers, we counting on you for this one.
Okay, I don't know if I have anything too exciting to report. Welcome to our new member, David. We had a council meeting last night, but it was a committee of the whole meeting where we got lots of information on many topics and didn't make any decisions, but we'll be at the next meeting. So I'm not really clear on what you guys would like me to report on. Is it major projects or new things that are coming up or a little bit of both?
I think that it would be like new things that are coming up. I think that we moved into this year kind of talking about how, council is really looking at the need to, for lack of a better word, beef up the staffing and that our administrative teams across the board needed more support. And I just maybe you can talk on like how that's going.
Yes, we're looking at a significant tax increase this year. We've held off for so many years and it's been a mistake because suddenly we have so much to do and no money to do it with. And so we're still going to be one of the lowest communities around for tax base, but we'll be able to get more done. We need staff in place to be able to move these projects forward. And Cochrane is now 34,000 people. We've got big city issues and we need people in place to help us fix them or make new things happen. So I'm kind of excited about it. I do worry about the people at the lower end of the scale that are going to struggle a bit, but a lot of them, if they own their home, the impact, if it's a couple $100,000 home, is going to be fairly low. It would be, what did we figure? $18 a month for a mid-sized house. It's probably 500,000. So it would be quite considerably less for a cheaper house. And then if you're renting, of course, it's all market driven. So it's hard to say how that's going to impact people. So it'll be an interesting year. The assessments are coming out soon and they're going up slightly this year too. But people get confused and think that the assessment's on top of the tax, where it's still the same pot or pie. They talk about a piece of the pie that you have to pay for. And so it's not significant to each person when their assessment changes. It was videotaped last night if anybody wants to watch it. I'm not good at explaining it, but
Oh, you're
every
doing
year
great.
we ask. Thank you. Every year we ask the same questions because it's so confusing. So it's going to be a big year with big projects underway, the RCMP station, the transit hub. Mike's going to be busy with his new programs over there. Lots of stuff with the highways being built, and we're excited about this 4 years because we're all the same people and we got right to work. Excuse me, we didn't have to go through all the orientation, and we figure we probably saved close to a year because we were able just to get right at it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
all those relationships are in place the mayor worked so hard on. And so I'm pretty excited about getting some stuff done this term. Any questions?
Councillor Flowers, if I may add to that, we have hired a development manager of planning services. He starts January 24th. His name is John Popoff, and he comes from Chestermere. He's got a great deal of experience in the planning world. And so he will be taking over my planning manager role, and I'll do the other roles that I'm supposed to do. And he will be part of the next CPC meeting in February. So you'll see him, we will introduce him there, and then he will be part of these meetings moving forward. As well, we've hired a director of engineering and asset management. Her name is Pinky Dela Cruz, and she will start on the 24th as well. So we're excited to have that engineering role that'll help us build better policies when it comes to our engineering designs and just policies in general. And we've very excited to have that role, as well as the asset management for our town assets that we need a little bit of work to maintain. And so those are two staffing updates that I can share, based on the budget approval in December. So thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. And is that planning position, is that Riley's old job, or is that a new position?
No, that is Riley's old position. So Riley's positions have been taken on, and in the planning world, we're looking at hiring a couple more admin assistants and development tech people, as well as we have 2 safety codes officers to hire. And then I'm the interim director now. We'll probably activate that competition sometime in April. So we're looking at a director of community services right now and a director of organizational structure. And that's a long title. I can't remember all of it, but there's a couple more directors being interviewed as we speak. So yeah, lots on the go as far as hiring.
Excellent. Thank you.
Awesome. Great update. Thank you, Councillor Flowers and Mike. Our next item on the agenda is the adoption of the previous minutes from the meeting that was held as a regular CPC meeting on December 15th, 2021. Does anybody have anything they need to suggest as a change to those minutes? Nope. So we'll put forth a motion. Somebody can put forth a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll put that motion forward that we adopt the minutes from that meeting.
Great. All in favor? It's carried unanimously. Next item up is development permits. We have, who's going to be giving us the development officers report for the month? Is that Nicole? Okay.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Chair Moore. The Development Officers Report for the month of December is a rather short one in comparison to the ones that you were experiencing throughout the rest of 2021. There was only 8 decisions, 4 of which were made by the CPC themselves on the 15th. And the other 4 is a combination of 3 variances as a result of compliance requests and 1 time extension. An update on the decisions that were made on December 15th. 2 of the decisions have been appealed. Development permit 2021-177 was appealed, and the appeal hearing is tomorrow evening. And additionally, the development permit 2021-187, that was the backlit signage for the canopy sign in Sunset, that was appealed, and the hearing for that one will be on February 2nd. As for number of permits, we completed out the year with a total of 208 development permits for 2021. And that's 36% higher than in 2020. And also 75% higher than in 2019. And then for compliance applications, that was for compliance applications. The compliance applications were 75% higher in 2020 than in 2021. There was 873 compliance applications in 2021 and 499 in 2020. And as for how we're starting off the year, so far we've received 3 development permit applications in comparison to 1 the year before. And the compliance applications are actually on track at 14 each year. And that concludes my development officer's report, and I'm available for any questions that you might have.
I'm just curious, who all sits in on the appeals? How does that work?
Yeah, so through the chair, to answer your question, the appeal board is a similar makeup of public members and council. And so I don't have the list of all of the members in front of me for that board, but it's a fairly similar type of board. It's a quasi-judicial board, and their decision is final. And then there is administration, who represents the development authority's decision. So I will be representing the CPC's decision from December 15th. Then the appellants are the landowners, they're a development firm from Edmonton called Forum. And then there's any other affected parties. And so we know that for sure there will be an adjacent landowner present, but that's just who has told us in advance that they're going to be there. And other affected parties, whether they're adjacent landowners or they could be affected in other ways, they are welcome to attend the meeting as well. And SDAB meetings are still happening virtually as well. So that information has already been advertised and published.
So we could actually watch it, or you'll bring the feedback back to us about the decision?
Yes, absolutely. Yep, it will be streamed live as well. And we can also bring back the decision for sure. The February 2nd meeting, I will have to look at the dates, but we might not have a decision by the time CPC meets again, just because the Subdivision and Development Appeal Board has 15 days to release their decision from the hearing date. So we will have the decision for the 177 or 2021 177 permit that's happening tomorrow night. We'll have that decision, but we might not have the second decision by your February meeting. But we will definitely bring that information back to you if and when we can in March.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is development permit DP 2021-197. And presenting that, I believe, is Ms. Legos.
Yes, that's me.
Did I say that right?
Legro. So pretend there's no S.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Good evening, members of the Cochrane Planning Commission. This evening, I'm here to present an application for an accessory suite at 67 Quigley Drive within the West Valley community. The subject property is designated residential single detached dwelling district where accessory suites are a discretionary use. Section 3.1.1 of the land use bylaw states that administration has the authority to make decisions on suite applications. However, the one before you this evening is proposing a variance over 10%. As a result, it must be presented to the commission for a decision. The development for an accessory suite aligns with Cochrane's sustainability plan and municipal development plan. Pathway 9 of the Cochrane Sustainability Plan, Everyone Has a Roof Over Their Head, describes success as housing options that are diverse, accessible, safe, and affordable for all income levels. Pathway 11, Wherever You Are in Cochrane, You Are Close and Connected, includes a target of increasing density within the 2009 footprint. In addition, the Municipal Development Plan states a shared community vision statement of diversity of housing, where Cochrane's goal is to ensure that housing is available to all, regardless of income, lifestyle, or life cycle. This is the site plan for the subject property. The accessory suite is proposed within the basement of an existing bungalow-style single detached dwelling. The property has an existing 2-car garage and a 2-car parking pad, both with access to the rear lane. This is the floor plan of the 2-bedroom suite. The suite is proposed to take up the majority of the basement and only excludes the mechanical room, as that is common space with the principal dwelling. This is an aerial map of the surrounding area. The subject property is highlighted in yellow, kind of in the middle of the image here, and the approved accessory suites are highlighted in purple. The orange triangles indicate properties with approved home-based business majors. There is one home-based business major, which is a day home, in the same block face, and one accessory suite in the block face to the south. Therefore, there is no concerns with clustering with this application. The proposed development is meeting all regulations for an accessory suite, including the minimum size, number of parking stalls, the dimensions of the stalls, having a separate walkway and entrance, as well as the cumulative impact. However, the application does not meet the maximum gross floor area allowed. The bylaw states the suite cannot exceed 40% of the gross floor area of the principal dwelling, and the application is proposing 45.6%. Therefore, a 14% variance is required. The principal building is a bungalow with an area of 230 meters squared, while the proposed accessory suite is 105 meters squared. As such, even with the proposed variance, the accessory suite is subordinate to the principal dwelling. Administration has reviewed the application and determined it is in alignment with town planning policies and meets the requirements of the land use bylaw, except for the variance to the gross floor area. Administration believes that the proposed 14% variance will not unduly interfere with the amenities of the neighborhood, nor interfere with or affect the use, enjoyment, or value of the neighboring properties. As a result, administration is recommending option 1 in your report, that the Cochrane Planning Commission approves the application with the noted conditions and advisory notes. That concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments that they want to start with here?
No questions here.
It seems pretty straightforward to me. And is it normal to have that bit of a variance, or is it a huge amount?
I think that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Amanda.
Abnormal to have a variance to the gross floor area when it's a bungalow style. So most accessory suites that are proposed within a bungalow styled home require some sort of variance, just because the basement is the same level as the main floor. So it's very difficult to get your basement to 40%.
Right, and
But
then
most are hover around that 45%. So it's pretty consistent with others.
and it would be kind of inefficient or unproductive to require them to make the suite smaller just to go along with the bylaw. It would mean just wasted space anyway, right?
To the chair, the landowners did try to play around with the layout, but they just couldn't figure out a layout that would work because of working with the existing layout of the basement. It was very difficult to change it.
Okay. Anybody would like to make a motion on this? Okay, Mr. Parsons, you're on mute. Oh, there you go.
There we go. I move that we accept option 1. Where'd the wording go? I had it right here.
The recommended action.
I just scrolled right past it there. That the Cochrane Planning Commission approved development permit 2021-197 for an accessory suite at Block 5, Block J, or Lot 5, Block J, Plan 7510482 at 67 Quigley Drive.
All in favor?
In favor.
All opposed? Motion is carried. Okay. I believe that is the only permit that we have to address today. Our next meeting will be held on Wednesday, February 16th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. And if nobody else has anything, I will adjourn this meeting at 7:10.
Excuse me,
Oh, wait, no, you're
Chair.
right. Sorry, Lisa. Sorry, Lisa. I remember. Sorry, I forgot to allow us to adopt the development officer's report. So I would need a motion on the floor to approve the development officer's report as presented by Nicole.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Carried. Motion carried. And so now I will adjourn the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
And nice
7:10.
meeting everyone.
Nice to meet you
Talk
too.
to you in a month.
Dude,
Thank you.
good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hi, everyone.